Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to be rocking you through my Bounties version 2.0. I had some great suggestions. We've taken them into account. The deck has a little bit better consistency. Has some more Salamandra units to use with Assault. I like how this one is performing a little bit better. Casino Bouncers and Sewer Raiders are so awesome. I really love them. They're performing probably the best of all of the factions in terms of accessible and useful thinning cards. Mohawken Volunteers are a nice counter to that, but Brocklon Sentinels are really tough, really weird, and awkward to include. So yeah, and Dun Banner is just kind of hot mess right now, in my opinion. I will say Visigoto with not Visigoto, Artorias with Hunting Pack is quite nice. So Nilfgaard is working quite nice with Hunting Pack and with Imperial Brigade, but it's Nilfgaard, and Nilfgaard's struggling. They're trying to find their way in this this painful wilderness that is the current meta, with overwhelming hunger. Who would have thought overwhelmed monsters, overwhelming hunger performing best right now? But it is a very, very powerful deck. But bounties are fun. Bounties are a really great counter for overwhelming hunger, unless the opponent kind of consumes the unit with the bounty on it. The consume can be a little problematic, but you can force them to make poor plays that way. Manga can be really clutch for that reason, because you can proc the bounty and get the kill all in one round. So, think about that. But bounties are good. For those of you joining on Twitch, we are filming, and for those of you on YouTube, make sure to join on Twitch sometimes. We have really good times. Now we need Tamara. Tamara is really important to get out early. We also need coins for Sewer Raiders. We don't need 2 Witch Hunters. And we probably don't need 2 Executioners, though I do like Executioners a lot. They are quite good. Elves are fun. Little weird right now. Yeah, they're a little bit clunky in a lot of ways, but they still power out so many points. Such great spawning. And they don't really have any really tall units, so kind of do fun things. I feel like somebody piloted a deck where this is getting a lot of traction, though. People playing Saboteurs onto Swordsmen to get them boosted up a little bit. But here we're gonna play Casino Bouncers. If you guys have seen me, you know I love to play them with Insanity. I find it to be a little bit more flexible than spending the coin. The coins we need for certain specific things. Yeah, I really like doing that. 7-point play, no other requirements necessary. Cash your check at the door. Also doesn't show anything. Like, the opponent knows nothing about my deck with me having played Casino Bouncers. Just that I no longer have a Casino Bouncer in deck. So really great flexible play. I also really, really like Eavesdrop. Eavesdrop is a really quality thinning card. You do get the 5 coins from it. You get that draw consistency. So you don't have to put anything onto the board. It's good. Note, you can't use Insanity if it's going to kill the unit, for anybody wondering about that. But it doesn't matter. We're obviously not going to spawn any more of these with this deck. Here, I am going to use Eavesdrop mostly to get the coins funded for Sewer Raiders. Professor does get a kill with the bounty here, which is kind of fun on a lot of these 3-point elf cards. This is awesome. I'm happy to see that come through. It is a bit risky to go for this card with Sewer Raider still in here, but Eavesdrop puts it back into your deck. So even if I did draw the other Sewer Raider, I can actually just go ahead and select it, put it back into my deck. I have the 5 coins, so I can play it with the Horde of 4 and get it out that way. Oh my gosh. Twitch chat is awesome. I don't know. The opponent here, I'm guessing just going for Ailerin here, which is fine. Great tutor, great tempo play. we're just still working on our thinning. We don't really have to make any decisions right now. Tamara is going to probably be the one on Neuromancy play we get out this turn. Unless the opponent passes here, then we can go ahead and get out Dire Mutated Hound since he goes up by 2 points every turn. This is fine. We don't much mind.
My mom needs my help.
This is a bit of a tip-off to the opponent, Tamara here. Alright, Professor does get us 3 coins. He plays for 9 points, which is like just not enough. So I think here instead we'll go for Witch Hunter and for Witch Hunter Executioner. And we're just going to do it like this.
Our pyres will light up the north.
And we'll just go down to 4 cards. Easy peasy. No stress. Long round is fine for me.
Evil's not going anywhere.
And this puts us back up to 4 coins, so we carry over 1 coin to the final round. No problem. We don't run, for moral reasons, we don't run Karatha Heatwave in this deck, but you could sub that in. I think if you were going to sub it for anything, Graydon's nice. But honestly, he falls probably flat the most. You could also sub out Kurt. Downgrade a couple of cards. Caesar's really helpful, but ultimately not the most necessary of all the cards. Alright, I kind of love everything that I have right here. Biggest thing we're missing, Manga and Azar. Hopefully we draw into one of those 2 cards for the next round, but we really kind of do need everything else. We're just going to take the hard pass here, since we're down by 2 cards. But I really did want to secure the long round, just because elves are so good on the bleed, where they're able to play out their scenario and get a lot of cards out. Here the opponent playing a squirrel. I'm not sure why. Maybe they thought they were still going to grab the Oneiromancy, but it's in my hand, so I think there's just a little bit of confusion there. Taking out one of the casino bouncers. I don't know. Really worried about like a Blue Stripes Pavetta play probably. Maybe they just like lost against Pavetta and don't know how this deck works. Alright, well, we drew into both of the things we wanted. Assault is pretty good. We want Dire Mutated Hounds and Freak Show more though. And Executioner is actually very helpful. So we're going to go ahead and put this back. Honestly, it doesn't really get better than this. I don't. Well, we'll try to get out Dire Mutated Hound, and then we can use Executioner. And we do have Vivaldi Bank, and we have another Oniro here. So if we lose, it's because this deck isn't all that great against Swarm, but it's really not all that terrible against it either. And we're going to show you how you can make that work for you. I think the biggest things here, you want Horseland's Freak Show and Manga lined up. If you can get both of those cards down, you can do some really nasty and terrible things. Truly unkind to your opponent. Kurt's not really worth all that much in terms of the lock or the purify here. Redea is beautiful. Redea is as good as it gets for bounties. I like words can't even say how grateful I am that my opponent just played Redea. She is exceptional value for Graydon. So Graydon is going to be able to destroy her, and if we have a 5-coin tribute, we're going to pay for that and get her value back in points received. So kind of inverts that. Also gets us 8 coins for ourselves. Nasty business. Okay, so here I think biggest things we want to try to build up here. We do want to get Azar out, but I am afraid of some murder coming down. So I think instead what we're going to do, we'll just line up Professor here. I always accidentally pay for his tribute. Don't do that. But here, Professor gets us 8 coins when we kill this Redea. It also lines up our Graydon. We just need the coins at this point. But doesn't. I mean, we knew we were gonna kill her. We knew she was a bounty target. There's not much complexity to that. If they are going to use a Purify, I'd rather them use it early. I'd rather them use it defensively. Since we have Manga, we're going to be able to continue paying for these, for the kills fairly easily. Just really doesn't take all that much work to do that. We do need to get up to 5 coins, but we'll probably do that with blood money. The defensive Purify is really helpful for me. The other reason, it takes a while to explain my thinking on things, especially when I'm trying to decide between things. So, a few things. Number one, Vernwazil is going to come down and she's going to do random damage, right? So, Scenario is going to proc 2 Deadeyes when they use this on Shade Saber, along with the Vernwazil's Commando. The Commando is not going to get any value, so until they play Vernwazil or we kill Redea. So I don't necessarily want her killed off right away. I also want to make sure I have as many of my own units out on the board as possible. That way I can absorb as many of those punches from the opponent as I can. So with all of that said and all of that done, I now need to make a decision on a play. Here we're just going to go for Oniro. And we're going to pull out our Dire Mutated Hound. Just to try to force out some plays from the opponent. Again, just kind of another target, honestly. And I'm just kind of just piddling this out, not gonna lie. And then I'm personally waiting for the opponent to play out a Deadeye from the Scenario. I think that'll give us a little bit of time. But really here, just trying to force the opponent's hand on the Vernwazil. Vernwazil with these 3 and the 3 from Scenario is going to give her 6 for a total of 12 damage. So we need to try to remove as many of those as possible before it gets too late. Alright. Here, Manga is a nice bulky target. We're going to get him down.
Watch yourselves. You'll never be safe.
And we're just going to wait. Next turn, we should be able to get out Graydon. We do get blood money here. We can remove this Doblathana banner for a bunch of coins. Out comes Feigned Death. As anticipated, we don't have a great way of dealing with it. Like I said, I'm morally opposed to Karathi Heatwave, so I'm not going to be using it. And as soon as we remove this Redea, this Vernwazil's Commando is going to get value. These Deadeyes do damage to us. So I have a lot of things kind of ticking off in my mind. Okay, what do I need to get rid of? When do I need to get rid of it? Here we're going to get rid of the Commando first. I don't want to play down Ozar quite yet because those Scarabs die right away. What we can do instead is get down Caesar Biltzen and then use the money to pay for those. But here, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and place a bounty onto Redea. That costs 3. We need 4 more coins. So we're going to just go ahead and erase Vernwazil's Commando. Then we're going to play down Graydon because we have the bounty value. We're going to pay the tribute. We're going to erase Redea. And then we're going to get back 8 coins because of the bounty. Great value there. Going to throw up a shield. Sorry, not a shield. Armor onto Dire Mutated Hound for a cost of 4. And then we're going to end our turn. So bounties are not for the faint of heart. This is a very complex deck. There's a lot of ticking engines, a lot of math that has to be done on the fly. If that's what you're looking for, because you enjoy playing games and using your brain, then this is very much the deck for you. If not, go play Skemegalol. I don't know what to tell you. Overwhelming Hunger is not really that intensive a deck in terms of thinking. Just don't let your opponent kill your stuff and you'll be good. Yavin coming down for meager damage, not syncing up with these Deadeye Ambushes at all. The opponent here just focused on getting rid of Manga, which isn't the worst choice in the world. He does represent perpetual value. Morios really isn't going to find much value for me over time, so I'm actually just going to hack away one of these Deadeyes. We could use Freak Show, we could use Kurt, etc., etc. Just really not all that great. So nobody here has a profit though, so that is one problem I'm running into. And we can make decisions on Slanders and Witch Hunter Executioners later on with Vivaldi Bank. I think, like I said, right now Morios is really never going to find a unit with a lot of value.
The eternal fire
And these Deadeyes represent 5 points of value, both in terms of something, I guess 6 with, but compared to Yavin, they represent 1 more point of value because Vernal Zeal is going to get 2 points of damage for each of them. So that's why I'm opting to kill the Deadeyes instead of Yavin. Elias coming down to spawn a few more of them.
clearly I don't weakness or wenches.
Okay, we do get a profit from Azar. We need somebody with a profit down just so Caesar can benefit from that. Although, to be honest, at this point, kind of wondering what's the point. Okay, we'll get down Freak Show here. We're gonna spend twice just to remove one of these Deadeyes. Just to clear out some of our coins for Bilton. Dire Mutated Hound still ticking away. I'm sure that's on the opponent's mind. Out comes Vernal Zeal. We're going to see her come down and rain down some hell. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 damage. Hopefully a bunch of that hits Graydon, Professor, and Morios and leaves Freak Show alone. But there's no knowing where it goes. One of them does hit Dire Mutated Hounds, which really isn't the end of the world. Now we can get out Azar, we can pay the tribute, and as you can see, we've lined up both of our profit characters right next to each other. That's going to allow Bilton to come down, slot gently between the two of them, and we're going to be able to boost up Scarabs as much as we need to keep this row safe, or more importantly, throw another armor back on the Dire Mutated Hound, because it represents 2 points per turn. But this is going to be a close match. Isengrim now, the thing I'm worried most about. So I think we'll try to remove as many as many even numbered characters as possible. So each of these represents 1 point, so I probably actually want to throw an armor up here on this hound. And then remove there. The hound does represent 4 coins, which is 4 points of removal, but it is going to represent 6 total points if we can keep the armor on it. Isengrim here coming down for a bunch of points. I think we're going to go for Vivaldi Bank just to see if we can get something with coins. Witch Hunter Executioner does get us 2 coins. Slander is going to get us 3 coins. But we don't have anything that can really finish that off since it is so far down. I think instead we're going to go for Witch Hunter here since we will get a few extra coins with that. Just for the points, just because he is worth 5 points. We do get the 2 coins from Vivaldi Bank here. We don't really need to make any choices with that. I think we're gonna fall just a little bit shy of getting the opponent here. Just struggling to compete with the Swarm. Great Oak here going for boost just because the removal value is virtually nothing. Doesn't really matter what we do here. Go ahead for the Purify, and then we can use Caesar Belton to boost up. Doesn't matter. So we do fall short this game, but I think walked you through some of the complexity of the deck. Elves very strong right now. I really think that they're quite a good deck. We needed to go down 2 cards in the first round to close out to get a long enough round to make value with this deck. This is kind of the problem of creating content, is I need to walk you guys through how everything works and then explain the optimal usage for everything. Because those are very different. I think that's what makes things like Elves such a great deck, just because it's so flexible. You really don't like where things are in relation to each other, the order that they come out. It's really not all that important. Now we do have assaults in here just because we have a few Salamandra units, but they are better later on. We don't need multiple witch hunters. I do like this eavesdrop. Eavesdrop is also really nice, so you don't break into like your second casino bouncers. You can say, oh, okay, I like what I have, but I don't really love it. Witch hunters being an example of that. So we're gonna keep flipping through. We do want to get out our sewer raiders. So here we're just gonna go ahead and do the usual. Get casino bouncers down. We do have Tiger's Eye that we can spend. That gets us some damage, but more importantly, gets us Horde for the sewer raiders. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And hopefully playing off blue coin is going to be a little bit more effective for us. Seeing Dunka come down, I think I'm a little bit more hopeful.
The only good one is a dead one.
That this deck isn't going to tempo us out like the last one did. So we're gonna flip Tiger's Eye to make sure we get our horde of 4. Say that 4 times fast. Just so we can get sewer raiders out. Bing, bada, boom. Nice tempo, nice thinning. Oh my gosh, I'm just flipping through Discord chat right now. You guys are hilarious. Swordmaster can cause us some problems. There's a few ways we can deal with it, but the easiest one right now is just to go ahead and smash it off with Assault. I am concerned about this Dunka with the carryover value though too, so that is something worth thinking about. Another option here is I can use Professor to set up the kill on the Swordmaster. We'll get 1 damage ping off. But then we can drop down like Whoreson's Freak Show, clean off Swordmaster, eliminate Dunka, and prevent that carryover value. So that sounds like a good option to me. Never pay for his tribute unless the unit has 3 health and has a bunch of armor and no shield or anything else, which is just like nobody, right? The one bad thing about elves, most of the time there isn't anything that like boosts. So there's no way for him to save this card. Brocklon Sentinel is fascinating play. This is probably one of the weirdest decks I've ever seen. And I kind of dig it. Okay, we're going to get 4 coins back. She had Veil, so the Purify really just not all that valuable there for me. And I am a little bit more. I built this deck so that you can play Freak Show without having to worry so much. We do want to play next round. We do want to get out Stringer. But you just so you don't have to worry so much, because the Executioners basically are the same thing. They give you a 1 damage ping. The difference between them and Freak Show is they have 1 less health, and you do need to have Bounty. But otherwise, they do the same amount of damage, and the fact that they actually give you like the numerals of 1 is actually really helpful as well. Denominations of 1, division of 1. I don't know. Use the right word that you feel like it fits in there. We're gonna put back Assault. And here I actually kind of want to go for Eavesdrop. That's going to get us to 6 coins. Then we can pay for Tamara. Here I think we're going to put back Slander just because it's not all that valuable and we don't care all that much about it this round. I'm just getting out Tamara just because we can pay for her. We're going to carry over some coins. We got some consistency. And that'll bring us down to 7 cards, so we'll be in a good spot. So here also just trying to force some plays from the opponent. If we see some slow development like that, then I think we, you know, we're going to think about what we want to do here. Yeah, let's go ahead for Tamara.
What is my Dar doing here?
We are down by a card, so if I was to do something, I would need to tempo up really quickly. Kurt might be a good way to just throw this lock up on Commando. Again, just going to have to see what the opponent does here. This can be a tricky deck to bleed with because so much of it does synergize really well together.
Little ass. Don't dare think you can escape.
Alright, so he's going to go to 10 points, which will time with me. He will still need to make another play, so... but that'll just make us tied in terms of cards. So after one more play, who knows where we'll be. These are probably the two best engines that he has. Oh... Yeah, I think we're gonna do it. I think we need to bleed this deck. Kind of unfortunate to queue into the deck that is like the counter to this deck, right? Swarms are really hard for bounties. I'm actually thinking to use Vivaldi Bank here to grab something that I'm not like desperately in love with. Slander might be a good example of that here. But we do need the points. Let's go ahead and go for Slander or something like that. Oh, Witch Hunter's even better, actually. Let's go ahead and use Witch Hunter on this Commando. She's already damaged, so... It does cost us 5 coins to get rid of her, and we're only going to get 3 back, so that is something worth thinking about, but Executioner should be able to finish the job. Might be able to force out a Purify here, so maybe we should have done it to the other one just so that we could have played around the Purify. You learned it here, folks. Alright, we're going to go ahead and drop down Dire Mutated Hound, just so we can tie the engine value. Now these sappers are looking like the better, more juicy target. Heat Wave! Heat Wave hurts. But getting happy. I'm getting happier with the type of removal we're getting. I actually think the bounties in this round might not be so bad. But we do need Graydon to go off. We can probably line him up with either Slander or Witch Hunter. I do prefer Manga with him. We do have Oneiromancy to carry over. Yeah, I'm not happy with where we sit with all of this right now, so. He does have a 3 profit. We were at 6, so we don't want to overshoot there. Heat Wave's out. They could use all 3 leader charges with Yavin to remove Manga. I'd honestly be pretty happy with that trade. I'm guessing these are all cards our opponent is not wanting to part with, and certainly not wanting to part with them when they are up in cards.
Evil's not going anywhere.
So these just basically pay for themselves. We get the 5 coins back, easy peasy. And we carry over 4 of these coins.
Time to die. I'll do so sword in hand.
I think we're going to see one of these 2 get removed right here. is perfect. I think we're just about where we want to be with the bleed. Yeah, I think this works. We're down a card, so we did have to lose a card in order to get this advantage that we forced our opponent to way overplay. And maybe we should have just bled him all the way dry and just known that our leader was really good. Okay, Assault is probably the least useful of all of these. Executioner works, but I'm really looking for a bounty card to pair with Graydon. So we do get Graydon, so now we can just pick the bounty how we want it. Maybe I would have given some more flexibility in terms of coins. Oh, but you can't have everything you want. Ozar's probably going to be our only like profit center here. So we do get 5 coins from these kills or 3 coins from her. I'm gonna go for Ozar here. We'll keep our options open. Please one hit Ozar. Oh well. Can't have everything you want in life. Alright, he's really our only profit center. I don't think I really want anything else. I mean, I might go for a Slander instead of Witch Hunter, but I'm guessing I'm going to go for Witch Hunter. So here I'm just going to pay for Caesar. Just to take the coins.
The pike's king of the Pontar. The pike, damn it.
Just sit pretty at 5. That's going to pay for Graydon. Extra coins we can use for Muriel's. If necessary. Great Oak is a great target. Opponent paying all for damage, so that actually works out for us. All pyres will light up the north. Here's praying they don't have another Purify. Oh, how much do you bet this is going on to it? Ooh, Elias. Does Elias destroy the Bomber or the Great Oak? So Great Oak still gets us coins, but probably a good choice.
Not too shabby. Not shabby at all.
All right, well, there we go. Poor choices made. We're breaking into Graydon here, so go ahead and do that. Oh, struggling today with this upgraded version of Bounties. Again, it just struggles against Swarm. Like the only 2 Swarm games I go against all day out of like 15 games. Here we're just going to pay for tribute because it's the only way to find money anyway. Going to go ahead and kill Elias, and then we'll erase Fermozil. I mean, he did the Elias on Great Oak was a smart play in the fact that like I was already going to max out on coins, and it needed to deny Graydon value. Graydon would have gone up. By the 7 points. So it's like an 11-point swing. Or sorry, pretty significant swing. So anyway, chat just talking about that. Okay, let's see if we can queue into a game. You know, we don't get wrecked. For those of you who are concerned about losing like that in such fashion, just remember that no deck should beat all of the other decks That's what makes the game stale and boring, in my opinion. All decks should have a counter, and this deck does struggle with Roast Swarm, so but really good against tall cards, which we're probably gonna see this time. Salt might come in handy here, actually, but not as handy as these other cards, so we're gonna put it back. I'm looking for another casino bouncer, but the bounty is going to be helpful here. So we might just go digging. We are on red coin. Oh my gosh. I swear if I have to keep playing against like row boost. It's an obnoxious thing with Dunka. Can't remove her with blood money because she's too tall. Can't lock her because she has Veil. It's just hard to deal with. Hard to deal with on blue coin. So I think we'll be looking for a quick out here.
Good luck. Not too much, eh?
I think we'll go for Eavesdrop next. We did want to get out Casino Bouncers because I didn't want to break into the other one. Which again, we still could put back into the deck, but I'd just rather have a better odds of drawing one of these Sewer Raiders. Other cards that might be useful here. A Neuromancy. Non-Devotion Symbiosis is still very good.
Though trees live longer than
I'm honestly happy with this. I want them to commit as much as they can to this round without us needing to do that. Alright, we'll put Witch Hunter back. We can go digging with Vivaldi Bank, and we will. Neuromancy is quite valuable to us, obviously, for consistency. Sewer Raider is also really helpful.
The forest holds
I do like using these Enchantresses on the Dahama Triads. Really great way to get value. Alright, Vivaldi Bank coming out now. Here we are going to take the Neuromancy, even though we have to pay more for it. Oh, shoot. Actually, we can't. Yeah, I think we actually do need to go for Sewer Raiders. The reason for that is we need the Horde of 4 in order to pay for them. So had we dug deeper for the Neuromancy, we couldn't have been able. We would not have been able to play Sewer Raiders and call the other one out. So it's a better way of doing it. Here we're gonna lose 1 coin extra because it's on odd numbers. So we are gonna play out Tamara.
My mom needs my help.
A lot of hand boosts going on. I really wouldn't have liked to play this deep into the round normally. Honestly, if I was the opponent, I'd be really tempted to just take the pass here. Alright. I'm really glad they didn't. It was still gettable for us in 2 cards, but with the pass, they would have been able to have Dunka get out longer. So they'd be getting more hand boost, and it would have taken me 2 cards to catch up, almost certainly. Obviously, they did need to respect the Graydon, but you never know if I have it or not. Slander is helpful, but we do have Witch Hunter here. But I think we will put back Assault. We do get Mariels. And the other Slander. Still looking for a Neuromancy here, though. Opponent happy with a long round. Here's hoping we get Manga back. We really do need Manga against these Purify decks. Son and wife coming home from their walk. Say hi to them on Twitch and on YouTube. Know that they live in a house where other people live. Okay, looking here for Manga or Nero, Caesar. Any of those options. Don't need a double Slander. And with Manga, we probably don't need the other Slander, but we're gonna risk it for Nero. Caesar works okay. And actually here, unless they're playing like Pavko or something, Ozar works pretty well against Symbiosis just because there's so little they can do about it. So we're gonna go ahead and spend him here. Hello. How are you? You're doing good. Doing well. Let's see if we can get this W. Hello there. I'm happy with this. Not even threatening my Scarabs. Miner's probably not going to boost himself, so I think we can start getting to work on our bounties if the opponent's not wanting to do anything about it. So here we're going to go ahead and start with Dire Mutated Hound first, just because of the passive points here. And then we might actually get down Caesar Built-in if one of these gets removed. We're going to let her get as big and tall as she wants to get. And just remove her with Mariels. I do want to get another Profit Center next to Ozar, just so we can get the most coins possible with Caesar. Manga being probably the best option here. So we will get 6 coins. If we get like a Shaping Nature, so a fun thing you can do with bounties onto like Hamadryads, you can place bounties to force the Purify. Which is pretty freaking awesome. This is a tall Enchantress. Yeah, holy crap. Somebody got all the hand boost. Armor works here, that's fine. I don't mind. You do you, man. Alright, here. I think we want Witch Hunter Executioner just for those flexible points. Though actually, no, I think the best way to do this. We'll use Manga and then we'll use Blood Money at the end. So we'll place that, then we'll use Caesar here. And re-trigger those. We're gonna boost up one of these Scarabs. Then the other one. And then we're going to just use Blood Money. That's going to get us 8 total coins. So we're ready to go. So now we've gotten Caesar Bills to do the work we'd like him to do normally. Obviously these are worth points generally. But they also now are bulked up, so they're much harder to remove. I have them high enough so they can't get removed all at once by a Nature's Rebuke, but low enough so that they won't be sorely missed by a perfectly placed Karathi Heatwave or Becker's Rock Slide. Is that your cookie? You love your little biscuits, huh? Biscuits. Again, no, please don't touch the keyboard. Jeez. My son loves to like come over and he'll like smile at me all nice and wave, and then he'll be like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Tap all of the keys. Yeah, here I think we're just kind of taking time. I think I'm actually gonna go for the lock here. just to force the Purify again. Actually, let's get Executioner down just for points. Just so we have the coins, so we have the flexibility to do what's necessary coming up here. I think we're going to have to make a lot of tough choices. Getting the 3 coins and then the 6 coin the 6 coin tribute is going to be expensive here. Professor does get us 1 free bounty. I need to fit in 2 more units onto melee. So we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everybody else can go to range. So these two both need to go to melee. That's why I'm holding off on this lock. Here it is 4 coins. We do have enough money. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And there we go. We get the pass. We get the hard win. Okay, this deck does get wins. Like I said, against taller decks, Symbiosis is the great lineup. I've been seeing a lot more of that on ladder, so know that this deck is actually good. Just don't queue into elves. Obviously, you have no control over that, but it is a really fun deck. I think you can get really great progress on it. The win rate for me is well over 50%. I don't know what it was with the first 2 games, but that's what we get here when I do my YouTube recordings live on Twitch. You get the real deal, uncut, unsullied versions. Thank you so much. See you guys later.